I'm here to give my lecture on organization behavior. So in our previous lecture we have discussed on the organizations. Now today we discuss about the organization behavior. As you know, the organization are the social invention for accomplishing a goal through the group efforts. But now what is a meaning of the organization behavior? So the definition of organization behavior is concerned with pupil thought, feeling, emotion, action in a work setting. Understanding an individual behavior is in itself a challenge, but understanding a group behavior in an organizational environment is a monumental managerial task. So ultimately the organization work get done through pupil individually or collectively. Means here, as you know, the management is the art of getting work done through others to attain the whole object of the organization. Similarly, here the organization work get done through pupil individually or collectively. That is the definition of the organization behavior. The another definition, the organization behavior can then be defined as the study of human behavior in organizational setting and the interface between the human behavior and in organizational context and organizational itself. The another definition, according to the Luthon, organization behavior is directly concerned with understanding, predicting and control of human behavior in an organization. So in simple word, if you see the organization behavior means the study of individual, group and organization itself to attain the whole object of the organization. That is called the organization behavior. Now today we will discuss some managerial networks that affect our organizations. The internal environment, some of the environment, the internal environment and external environment. So first we talk about the internal environment. In internal environment, as you see in a diagram, the manager is there, superior is there, subordinate is there, peers and co-worker. So here the manager will perform all the function in an organization. That manager have a responsibility as well as the authority. So here the manager has a authority to give the instruction to the subordinate. So manager always give the instruction to the subordinate and get work with subordinate, as well as have a responsibility of the superior that he have to give, or you have to complete the target according to the superior. And here there are some peers and the co-worker who is working at a same level. The manager will coordinate and cooperate to each other to achieve the whole object of the organizations. That is called the internal environment. Now the external environment की बात करते हैं. The external environmental forces of all into two categories. External environment are in two categories. The first is a direct environmental forces and second one is a indirect environmental forces. Some of the direct environmental forces which affect the organizations and some of the indirect environmental forces which affect the organizations. So here first we will see the direct environmental forces. Indirect environmental forces, as you see in a diagram, the competitor, customers, supplier, labor, regulatory agency. These are the environmental forces, direct environmental forces which affect our organizations. So before starting any organization or before running any organization, we have to see all these environmental forces. The first one is the customers. As you know, the customer is the king of market. So we have to see the needs and wants of customer in a market, then we will produce the product. We should know the demand of the customers. On daily basis, we will produce the product in a market. So it will also, the customers affect our organizations. The supplier. As you know, that we have to make the supply management within the organization and outside the organization, because we have to make the contact with the supplier and we have to take the scarcity of the resources, that how much we have a scare, and the timely supply of the raw material, because the supplier will provide a raw material, we will produce the product on that basis. So the supplier is also affect our organization. The another is environmental forces is labor. As you know, without labor, without man, material, money, method, these are the factor of productions. So without labor, you cannot perform any work in our organization. The labor is most important force that is affect the organization. So here we will make the availability of the labor. The another is regulatory agency. As you know, where we are running our organization or we are running our business, some of the government regulation or the regulatory agency that are affect our organization. Just take an example. If you want to produce a tobacco product in MP, and if there is a Madhya Pradesh, if there is a restrictions in tobacco product in Madhya Pradesh, you cannot produce, because there are some regulatory agency, they have restrictions on that. If you produce that product, that is a societal for your firm. So the regulatory agency also affect our organizations. Last but not the least, the competitor. As you know, the competitor is the most important environmental forces which we have to see whenever we are running any organization, because we have to see our close competitor. On that basis we will produce our marketing strategy, that we have to see how much we have a competition in a market, what competition is going on, how many close competitors are there of our organizations. So we have to see all these. On that basis we will run our organization, we will produce the product and services in the market. So these are the environmental forces which are directly affect our organizations. Now the second one, indirect environmental forces. If we talk about the indirect environmental forces, here the socio-cultural, political, technological, international, economic, these are the environmental forces or indirect environmental forces which affect our organization. These are not directly affect our organization, but we have to do the study. If we are running any organization, we have to see all these indirect environmental forces. These are also indirectly affect our organizations. First one is a socio-cultural environment. As you know, the society, what is acceptable by the society or culturally acceptable or societal acceptable, we have to produce that product and services in a market. On that basis, because the social and the culture, these environmental forces also affect our organizations. Then the political environment. Political environment, the indirect environmental forces, the political environment is also affect our organization. As in which country we are running our organization, we are running our business, we have to see the political environment, that what is the political condition of that particular country. On that basis we will run the organization, we will produce the product and services. Some of the legal restrictions is there. So just you can take the example of Gujarat. There are restrictions on wine, and if you produce the wine in a Gujarat, that is societal for your firm. You cannot sell the wine in Gujarat. So you have to see the political condition of that particular country or that particular state where you are running your organizations. Then the technological environment. As you know, the technology is the most important factor in running any organization. If you are using outdated technology, that is not beneficial for your organization. So you have to upgrade your technology. You have to see what technology going on in a market. On that basis, you have to run your organization. You have to produce your product and services in a market. international environment. We have to also see the international environment, and we have to produce the product and services at a world level, not at a India level or a particular country level, because we have to compete at a world level. So we have to also see the international environment, that what is going on in an international market, what types of the product and services is there. You have to produce that quality product and services. The last but not the least, economic environment. As you know, the economic condition of the country, we have to see the economic condition of the country when we are running any organization or any businesses. If this inflation rate is high, then you cannot produce the high quality product and services at a high price. If you are producing that, nobody will buy your product. Why? The reason behind that, because there is an inflation rate is going on in a market or is going on in a country, the economic conditions down. So on that basis, you have to produce the product and services, and you have to run the organization on that basis, that you have to produce the high quality product and services at a reasonable price. So this is all about the managerial network. Now we talk about the level of organization behavior. There are the three levels, as we have discussed in our definition of organization behavior: the individual level, group level, and organizational level. So first one is the individual level, second one is the group level, third one is the organizational level. So here, this is a very important topic, or this is a very important thing, which is to know, that through which you can understand whole organizational behavior concept, whole organization behavior subject, that what is the meaning of organization behavior and how do the study of organization behavior. So here, first one level is the individual level, second is the group level, third is the organizational level. Individual level की बात करते हैं, the personality, attitude, motivation, learning, job satisfaction. These are the individual levels. So we have to do the study of personality here. We have to do the study of attitudes, learning, motivation, and job satisfaction. On that basis, if you do the study, then the outcome of these individual level is individual performance and satisfactions. Second is turnover. Third is lower absenteeism. So we have to do the study of these things or these factors in individual level. The another is a group level. Group level की बात करते हैं. In group level, as you know, where the two or more people working together to attain the whole objective of the organization, that is called a group. So here the group dynamic is there, the group structure is there, means what types of structure you are using in a group. The leadership is there, how you lead, motivate or guide the subordinate. Communication is there, how you make the communication with the management and the employees. And the group decision making, that how you take the decision. There is individual decision making and group decision making. Here this is a group decision making, means people working together and they will take the right decision at a right time at a right place. That is a group decision making. So we have to see also the group decision making, and the outcome of these, the group performance, it will make the group performance, and it will show the group effectiveness, or it will create a group effectiveness. Then the last but not the least, organizational level. In organizational level, we have to do the study of organization culture, that what types of culture in our organization we have to run, and we have to see the organizational climate, means what types of climate, where you are working, in which climate you are working. We have to see all these things in an organizational level. The another is organizational conflict. As you know, there is a conflict between the management and the employee, between intra-organization, internal organizations, extra organizations, outside the organization. There are a lot of conflict, the types of conflict. So we have to see the organizational conflict, what types of conflict is there, and how you manage these conflict or problem or conflict handler. You will perform the function of a conflict handler, that how you conflict, how you negotiate with the between the management and the employee. So we have to see all these things in an organizational level, and the outcome of the organizational level means it will create the organizational effectiveness. This is all about the first unit of organization behavior. Thank you to all.